Matt, let's bring it to the field. We got another member of the Hawk Tui crew.
Oh boy.
We got another member of the Hawk Tui crew. Jamar Chase, top wide receiver in the NFL. His suspension was upheld, and it is now official. He will miss the game this week. And if you guys haven't seen the video, we'll make sure we play it. Versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, he spat at Jalen Ramsey. Now, I'm pretty sure Jalen Ramsey said something crazy to him, but it ain't warranted a good Hawk Tui. But we'll talk about that a little bit more because there's a lot of disrespect going on around the NFL. He was fined $500,000. I think that's a pebble in the ocean for him. I don't even think that's like a real good amount of what he gets paid per year. But we've seen Jalen Carter and how he was punished, or was he punished? How he was punished. NFL, what should they do? Should they make the repercussion worse? Or is this something that we're just seeing going to disappear from players not disrespecting each other like that?
Nah, there needs to be stiffer consequences. I mean, think about it this way. We saw what happened with Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. And then at the start of the regular season, a couple of months ago, we saw what Jalen Carter did to Dak Prescott. I mean, prior to those two incidents, the last time we even recall somebody spitting on another player was what Bill Romanowski did to J.J. Stokes on Monday Night Football.
On Monday Night Football.
And that was back in 1997. So I do think that this is something that the NFL has to get ahead of, because when you consider the escalation that could naturally happen by degrading someone to the point where you're spitting on them, I just think that the NFL has to be careful, because the reaction that it evokes is going to be a lot more spectacular than if players get in any other form of altercation on the field. If guys throw punches, if guys grab each other by the face mask, that happens all the time. But when you see someone spit on another player, the natural reaction is to get at them. Football be damned. And it might not be confined to what happens in that moment on the field. It could spill over into the tunnel, into the locker rooms, and God forbid, outside of the stadium in the streets. And it ain't like we ain't seen Bengals players and Steelers players go after each other in the streets. Remember Levi Jones and Joey Porter once upon a time. So I'm just going to say that the NFL has to be really careful with this from that angle of it, because you don't want an escalation in violence, whether it's on the field or off the field. Here's the other part where I think the NFL has to be careful. They have to make these consequences a little more heavy-handed, because the last thing you want to do is incentivize another player to provoke a guy on the opposing team to take a swing at him and get ejected. See, that's the part that people missed when it comes to this Jamar Chase incident. Jalen Ramsey got kicked out of a game that was a one-possession game in the fourth quarter between division rivals. Well, what happens if there's a player that is away from the play, that's away from the refs, and thinks that he can provoke a response from one of those other players by spitting on him? I mean, you heard what Jalen Ramsey's reaction was. The dude spit on me. It's up from there. You heard what Mike Tomlin had to say about it. I have no message for somebody that spits on another human being. Do what comes natural. The players and the coaches ain't going to conduct themselves with the level of decorum that the league expects when you spit on somebody. They're going to go after them. So I think that's why the league needs to find a way to get ahead of this thing. And I know that they feel like their hands are tied now because of the precedent that they established with Jalen Carter, but this is something that they certainly have to revisit in the offseason, and they need to try to put more guidelines in place and have stiffer penalties for guys that violate it to this degree.
Yeah, and you guys need to check Wikipedia. I know Canty comes over very distinguished, but he's still from the Bronx, y'all. He's still from the Bronx. He's still from the Bronx. Like, for me, I live by the few F's, Canty. I live by, if you don't feed me, you don't finance me, you don't fuck me, I don't care about you.
Wow.
But then I live by another set of F's. You fuck with my family, you fuck with my finances, then it's up. Ooh. Now, spitting, I think that trumps all that. Spitting is the next level of disrespect. And I mean, if we was in the streets, like you said, it was up. And if I wanted to be distinguished, I would say that's an assault charge. So it's ways to go about it, but punishing the players, is it steep enough? Should the teams now get some punishment for actions like this? Because it did get Jalen Ramsey ejected, and now they were up when he was ejected. But what if they were down and they needed that top corner?
Yeah, I don't know how far you can go with trying to hold the teams accountable. I think it's a matter of confining it to the players, because I don't know that you necessarily want to get in the business of doing more to punish the teams or punish the other guys on those respective teams because of the actions of one person. So I think it gets into a slippery slope territory for me. But certainly they could have done more to Jalen Ramsey. And to me, the part that makes it different than the incident between Dak and Jalen Carter was the reaction from the opposing player after he got spit on. Jalen Ramsey clearly felt the way. He went after the player. It triggered an ugly incident that could have been a lot worse, and he ends up getting tossed. So you penalize Jalen Ramsey, you penalize the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in real time, you didn't punish the Cincinnati Bengals. So I think there has to be stiffer penalties. There have to be tougher consequences for guys that violate professional decorum and the personal conduct policy. Now, here's the other thing that I don't get. If you're Jamar Chase, what the fuck are you thinking appealing that ruling? Why do you want to piss off the appeals officer, Jordy Nelson? Why do you want to piss off the league office by doing something where we already know the answer to it? Bro, they got you on tape. They got you on tape.
And 4K.
They got you,
4K.
They got you on tape. Why are you going to sit here and have folks questioning your integrity, questioning the integrity of the league, questioning your word? Why would you want to allow folks to character assassinate you by sitting there and lying and saying you didn't spit on them when everybody knows that you did? And here's the crazy thing. When he was initially asked the question about whether or not he spit on Jalen Ramsey, I knew that he did it before even watching the video. You know how I knew he did it? Because of how this dude answered the question. He didn't say, no, I didn't spit on him. He said, I never opened my mouth to that guy. Who the fuck talks like that, bro? Nobody. You don't talk like that. Nobody talks like that. So
the PR person grabbed him.
I knew this dude was lying. Stop. Why you always lying? Like, I don't get that. And so, I think when it comes to Jamar Chase, he's done a disservice to himself, especially considering the caliber of player that he is. This is somebody that's a role model, has kids looking up to him. He's your favorite player's favorite player until this week, until what happened against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe that Jamar Chase has put a bullseye on his back, not only with opposing players, opposing defenses, but also with the league office because of the decision to reject accountability and to continue to double down on the fact that he believes that he didn't spit on Jalen Ramsey. This is a situation now where Jamar Chase is going to have to make sure he crosses the street at the crosswalks. Because if he doesn't, the league office is going to come after his ass.
Yeah, him being one of the best players in the league, I mean.
They don't give a damn about that. They don't give a damn about that. The shield
is just look bad.
The shield is bigger than any one player. Look at the damn logo of the NFL in comparison to other sports leagues. Other sports leagues have players as the logo. The NFL has a damn shield. They don't give a damn about one individual player.
Yeah, it just sucks when the best wide receiver out there is becoming Mr. Hark Tui. Mr. Hark Tui.